This is a story that starts approximately 13.8 billion years ago, when the universal forces that we know didn't even have a home or differentiation. A universe the size of a pinhead. And then in the tiniest fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second, it began expanding, and a fuckload of crazy shit started happening. Gluons and quarks flashing in and out of existence, and with the crazy heat, matter and energy could literally be synonyms. And before the place cooled enough for matter as we know it to exist, in an atomic formation, there existed a field of light radiation. Approximately 13.8 billion years later, minus about 250 years, give or take, people started to use the word static to mean a lack of movement or change, the unevolving way in which your life is arranged. But there's no way they could see that our language would evolve to the point where we connect the Staticus of Latin origin to the Big Bang. Another 400 years after Staticus was spoken, a nation tuned in for the first public radio address. And as they waited for the transmission to start, as if it were magic, they encountered empty airspace in the form of what they'd call static. But in 1906, they couldn't possibly know that a percentage of that white noise comes from radiation that originated billions of years ago. 50 years passed and the television succeeded, commonplace in homes by now, and, hungry for information, this is how the general public was feeded. And as they'd skip through the channels, they'd be displeasingly greeted by static. Hell, even I remember frantically trying to find a clear picture. But how could we know that at least 1% of what we were seeing was a picture of the universe at the very beginning? And so, fast forward to now. I feel like the only way to describe my brain is like it's filled with static, whirring and noisy and hard to withstand. If you ask me a question, my face might go blank, but I'm not ignoring what you're saying. I'm just dialing the knobs until the words become clear, scanning for the clearest channel, so I can watch your story evolve to its full conclusion in my mind. And so, fast forward to now. I feel like the only way to describe my career is statically charged. I've known what I've wanted to be since I was 18. Older than most, but I've been lucky enough to follow those dreams for 13 years. So I'm starting to pine for new creative means that I can spark into some sort of financial current. Even though I know I'll get zapped, I have the desire to reach out and touch a positively charged idea. If only one would come. And so fast forward to now. I feel like the only way to describe my life is static. Stuck in a period of stasis while I wait for better. Same job, same course, same mental illness, treated the same way, same shit, week to week, year to year. I know I'm moving forward, but it doesn't feel like it. So maybe I can learn a thing or two from cosmic background radiation. And I can channel my mind into clarity. Because even though the static wreaks havoc on my decision making, it's comforting to think I've got a universal signal going through my brain, trying to help me understand what I can't already explain. So maybe I can learn a thing or two from the oldest form of light. About persisting in a universe where nothing's seeming right until one day, all of a sudden you find you're on TVs all over the world. And maybe I can learn a thing or two from the beginning of the universe. Becoming what you're supposed to be isn't a destination. It's a slow, ever-expanding, unfinished